I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the NVTC Virginia Data Center Awards. Now in its third year, this event celebrates Virginia's robust, growing data center community. These awards recognize innovation, leadership, and significant accomplishments made in our Commonwealth's data center industry. Over the past decade, Virginia has emerged as the world's largest data center market and continues to expand.
I'm thrilled to be here tonight to celebrate the enormous growth and contribution of Virginia's data center industry. Please join me in raising a glass to all of our finalists and especially the Data Center Icon Award honoree, Mark Ganzi, who's here with us today. Mark is the president and CEO of Digital Bridge. We're so glad, Mark, that you were able to make it in person tonight. Thank you for coming.
So many of you have contributed to what has become something incredibly important, not just in this region, but worldwide. You know, Northern Virginia is the largest concentration of data centers anywhere in the world. Delivering value beyond the buildings is really what's so important about what our data centers do.
Very humbled to be here tonight, and I want to thank the council for this honor. Never thought the words my name and icon would be synonymous in a paragraph, let alone an awards presentation. So it's interesting, my family moved here in 1986, and I remember flying into Dulles Airport and landing and getting on one of those transports, and in the middle of the night driving to our house and saying, I said to my dad, where are we? Who would ever believe that the arc of my career, 35 years later, I'd be building billions of dollars of data centers? It's funny how life takes you on that journey. But literally, when I was a kid in high school here, all that was out here was farmland. It's incredible to see how this community has grown and how today it is the most important real estate in the planet. And all of you make that happen. It's a tremendous opportunity, it's a tremendous privilege. And I remind my wife and my kids every day that I feel privileged to work in this sector. It's very humbling, the work that we do, and it's very important. So first, I want to salute everyone in the room and thank you, because without the great leadership in this room, this industry just doesn't happen. And so this is my way of just saying thank you to all of you. So give yourself a big round of applause. Vinay had asked me to say a few words and just talk a little bit about my journey personally. My journey in data centers was an accident. Like my entire career being in digital infrastructure was an accident, because nobody went to school for a degree in digital infrastructure. But I remember meeting Mike Faust in 1996, and that was an interesting meeting because Mike was working at CB Richard Ellis at the time, and we were doing business together, and I built a business focused on building digital PCS networks, and Mike was the head of asset management at CB Richard Ellis. And he took a chance on us, and we ended up leasing all of CB's rooftops, and we built a nice friendship. Fast forward to 2002, we came back together with Rick Magnuson, and when Rick was at GI Partners and Mike was there, and I said, hey, let's go out and buy cell towers out of busted balance sheets. What a great idea. And so they believed me, and so they thought, okay, what other types of bankrupt assets are going to be in balance sheets coming out of the dot-com crash? Well, Rick and Mike figured out data centers. So we flew to Denver to go do diligence on roughly about 35, 36 data centers, which we didn't call them data centers at the time, we called them something else. Switching facilities is what we called them, and 1,200 cell towers. So they won the deal to get the Quest data centers, and Digital Realty was born. And it was literally that diligence in Denver, sitting there negotiating against Joe Nacho at Quest before he got kicked out, that was the foundation for how the industry really started, and I felt pretty fortunate to have been a part of those discussions. So Mike and I stayed friends, and when we started Digital Bridge in 2013, Ben and I did, with Alex Gelman, we said, we gotta find somebody that really understands the data center space. And so we called Mike, and I said, Mike, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm not doing much, I got fired. And I said, you wanna work again? And he said, yeah, Kat thinks I should work again. She's getting really sick of me hanging around the house. So I said, why don't you come join us at Digital Bridge? And he said, what are you doing? And I said, I think we're going to invest in all forms of digital infrastructure. We think it's really interesting. We think it's going to define the next multiple decades. And so Mike said, I'm in. And so then the next thing we did is we said we got to go find someone who's a great data center banker and someone who's an industry veteran. And I had the good fortune of meeting a guy named John Mock. And John and I hit it off immediately, and he's the guy that runs our global data center practice today. And he's a great partner, and I want to thank John for his contributions, and Mike Faust, who's our global chairman of our data center practice. Those two individuals have really been absolutely central to our success in data centers. And then the last thing I want to thank before we say goodnight to each other is I wake up every day and I'm really lucky. I get to work with 5 incredible CEOs. The people that run our data center businesses globally are just incredibly talented, and I learn from them every day. This award is really my team's award, and we don't do what we do on a global basis without great people. The people that run our data center businesses globally are just incredibly talented, and I learn from them every day. And not only are they my partners, they're good friends. Raul Martinek, who runs DataBank for us, he and I built a company back in 1997 together. He's really doing tremendous things at DataBank. Marcos Piegio, who runs Scala for us, is an incredible partner. He's great. I can't say enough things about Giuliano and Josh Joshi. Those of you who know Giuliano and Josh are just great thought leaders, and we're building a great edge computing business in Europe. And then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't forget one of our great partners, Cyril Chasky, who's building an incredible business globally. But these are the people that drive our businesses. My job is to enable them. My job is to help them. On behalf of DigitalBridge and all of our senior leadership, I want to thank you for this award and the recognition of our hard work, and continue the great work. Thank you.